He taught in the same public high school for 41 years, wore the same brown shoes nearly every day, and drove a car so old, his students used to joke it belonged in a museum. He never raised his voice, never missed a day, and never once asked for recognition. His name was Theodore Johnson, and when he retired, he quietly walked away from the classroom, with over $5 million in his account. No lottery win, no side hustle, no inheritance, just a lifetime of quiet choices that no one saw coming. Theodore was born in 1925, in a small town in rural Maryland. He grew up in a modest home, no silver spoon, no financial safety net, just two hard-working parents and a belief that education was the way out. He didn't have much, but he had books, and in those pages, he found a world that made sense. From a young age, he loved to read history books, biographies, stories of people who built something from nothing. But Theodore didn't want to become rich. He wanted to become useful. So he became a teacher. After college, he started working at a public high school in New Jersey, teaching history to kids who often didn't care. He wasn't flashy, didn't try to be cool, but he was consistent. Always early, always prepared, always present. He brought lunch from home every day, wrote feedback by hand, and kept every thank you note from his students in a small drawer at home. Students respected him, not because he demanded it, but because he earned it. But here's what they didn't know. While Theodore spent decades shaping young minds, he was also shaping a financial future behind the scenes. Every month, no matter what, he set aside 20% of his modest teacher's salary and invested it. Not in risky stocks, not in get-rich-quick schemes, but in stable, dividend-paying companies. He learned from books, not brokers. He followed people like Benjamin Graham and John Bogle, and he treated investing the same way he treated teaching, with patience, discipline, and a long view of time. He wasn't trying to beat the market. He was trying to outlast it. He didn't try to predict crashes, didn't celebrate booms. He just kept investing through recessions, through wars, through elections and uncertainty. He bought companies he believed in, held them for decades, and reinvested every dividend. And while his net worth quietly grew, he lived the same way he always had. He never upgraded his car unless it stopped running, never bought brand-name clothes, never once paid interest on a credit card. He brought his coffee from home, sewed his own buttons, and kept a handwritten budget in a worn notebook by his bed. His friends would ask him, "Theodore, why don't you enjoy your money?" He would smile and say, "Because I'm building something I may never see, but others will." And he meant it. When Theodore finally retired in the early 1990s, there was no big send-off, no trophies, just a handshake and a thank you. But behind the curtain, he had quietly built a portfolio worth just over $5 million. He had never earned more than $60,000 a year, never owned a business, never received a windfall. He just understood one simple truth: that wealth is not built in bursts, it's built in decades, and he proved it. But he didn't stop there. Theodore spent the next 25 years giving his money away. Quietly, strategically, he donated to schools, funded scholarships, bought books for libraries, and supported programs that gave kids a second chance. He gave because he remembered what it felt like to have nothing but believe in something more. He passed away peacefully in 2014. No children of his own, but hundreds of former students came to his memorial. Many had no idea he was a millionaire. They just remembered the teacher who stayed late, who listened, who believed in them when no one else did. And that was Theodore Johnson's greatest investment. He didn't just build financial wealth, he built human wealth. He proved that being underpaid doesn't mean staying broke, that financial freedom is possible, even on a teacher's salary, and that the most powerful thing you can invest is time. He lived quietly, spent wisely, and gave generously, and he left behind a legacy, not just of money, but of meaning. Because sometimes, the richest people aren't in boardrooms, they're in classrooms. And sometimes, the biggest fortunes are built by those who never cared about fortune at all. If this story moved you, share it with someone who thinks it's too late to start, too hard to save, too small to matter, and subscribe for more stories of quiet wealth and silent greatness, because the woe